Okay, there is no point in waiting. Cause I don't know how much time do I still have. I need to finish this quest and be free. La 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 la. Ah yeah, I was doing something else. Doing this thingy. We are going back to annex. Navigate. Yes, confirm. Head to the Demigod Council and witness the results of the Citizens' Assembly.
Do you need me to formulate the next plan?
I would happily do.
Quietly.
Can't believe.
Fine. So they are leaving the final debate to him.
Finan! Ah, I see you there. I see you there.
Let those Chrysos heirs who started this terrible war hear you.
There is no war, lady. There is no war. I don't know where does she see the war.
Let them hear the voices of the people.
You mean yours? Meow? Why did you come to interrupt me now? Oh. Meow. Come. Look, there's a blanket. You can come here. Lay down. Come. See? Happy? Happy now? You're happy now?
As always, that woman knows how to stir up a crowd.
Professor Anaxa, I thought you'd pass on this.
Everyone must cast their vote, or this assembly would serve no purpose.
Prof, do you truly think it's wise to entrust the fate of the world to an assembly like this?
Akama has stood strong under this system for 1,000 years. It stands to reason that there is purpose in its existence. But that is not what you're asking, is it? What you really want to know is Aglaya making the right decision in entrusting the fate of the world to you?
Don't psychoanalyze my baby. He just lost his boyfriend to Black Tide War.
Nothing ever escapes you.
I didn't spend all those years teaching you for nothing. Most people only take 4 years to graduate, if I recall.
Wait, what? Is he implying that Finan took more? Also, you didn't remember him before, I think.
To tell the truth, I feel like I'm on my way to an execution chamber instead of a podium. So, do you have an answer to that question?
No, I don't.
I thought so.
Because that question is not yours to ask in the first place.
Wait, what?
Is Aglaya entrusting the world to you the right decision? Don't make me laugh. That is a question that woman must answer herself. Why are you fretting about this on her behalf? Or have you been seeing yourself as her pawn all this time?
Jesus, chill!
Listen up. I'll say this only once. Flip your perspective around and ask yourself this instead. What should I do to ensure that the world doesn't stray from the correct path? That is what you should be thinking about.
I mean, he still gives him good advice. Like, stop fretting on what other people expect. Start thinking about what you can do, but you know. He is such an asshole about it.
You still have time, so give it some thought. Oh, and don't bother telling me the answer. Tell it to those begging for salvation from the gods.
Got it. Thank you, Professor Anaxa.
That's Anaxagoras to you.
Lol.
Who will you be voting for?
That'll depend on how well you perform. May Cersei safeguard your thoughts.
Are you wishing him luck, you asshole? Lord Anaxa, you're finally here. The last speaker for the assembly will be taking the stage soon. The resolution will be passed after that. Stop this, Kitty. You're not the center of attention every time. Lady Kynese has reserved a special seat for you. Shall I show you to it? Yes, lead the way. Alright, this way, please.
I actually don't necessarily mind things remaining the way they are. Really safe. A little nervous. Thank you.
Elders and citizens, silence, if you please. As the Theoros, I present to you Finan of Ides Elysiae, virtuous citizen of Akima, and the last speaker of the assembly.
Much obliged, Lord Lycus.
I remember him. He's the penniless lad working for Aglaia.
Penniless lad.
Where's Lady Goldweaver? Why is she sending this guy to give the last speech? Is this really the end of the Flame Chase journey?
They don't even know how important Finan is.
Can this dude really face down kindness?
This dude.
I actually don't necessarily mind things remaining the way they are.
Did they forget that this dude is the closest friend of Mighty?
By Kefali above, dear citizens of Akima, as you look upon me, so too do I see you. I see your fear and misgivings, your apprehension about the discord between the Chrysos heirs and the Council of Elders, and your uneasiness about the future of the Holy City. Yet, before you contemplate something as grand as the fate of the world, I ask that you look closer. Look beyond the horizon illuminated by Kefali, at the crisis threatening to overwhelm us.
What?
Ides Elysiae, my beloved hometown, is a village forgotten by time. It is a place with the most invigorating breeze and wheat fields that spread all the way to the sea. I once thought that there I would enjoy a lifetime of peace and quiet with my friends and family. How I wish I could invite all of you to that paradise, far from the noise and chatter of the world. Alas, I can't, because she and all that she nurtured, all that I loved, they have long been devoured by the black tide. My beloved home is no more. I will never forget the day the black tide struck. My father, Hieronymus, fought with a broken sword to his last breath to protect his child. My mother, Aldada, she was ripped apart by monsters Also, I might live to stand before you here and now.
Jesus Christ, this is the first time he's telling his backstory. I didn't even know he knew the names of his parents. Meow! Don't interrupt me, kitty.
Galba, he was a hunter. But in the end, those arms that once drew a bow instead embraced Piso, his beloved son, as they both breathed their last. Pythias, the teacher, risked her life to save her students, but a burning beam fell on her, crushing her. And what of Livia, her daughter? Did she make it out alive? No, she didn't. Livia, Piso, and so many other children. My childhood friends. They were all swallowed by the black tide and turned into monsters.
Whoa, that's bad. Not only killed, turned into monsters too.
They kept saying the same thing over and over. Even up until the final moment, I finally steeled my heart and granted them eternal peace with my sword.
Oh no, he had to kill them? That's so fucked up. He had to not only see them be killed, turn into monsters, but also had to kill them to grant them peace.
Why, Finan? Aren't we the best of friends? That is the black tide. A looming threat that can bring Akuma to its knees any time. Kindness may have promised that with the 3 Titans of Calamity gone, Akuma will return to an era Chrysia once more, but much as it pains me, I must disappoint you. While the demigod of strife has done everything in his power to hold them back, they are still coming. By now, the name of that black-robed swordmaster, the Flame Reaper, has likely echoed throughout the city already. The roaring thunder is a message from the strife demigod. The Flame Reaper has risen from death, and they hunger for the core flames of the gods.
Lies! If such a powerful enemy is indeed approaching, why is Akuma still a picture of peace?
Exactly! The city of Akuma shows no signs of pandemonium or chaos. And why is that? I beg you, spare a moment to think about this. Are we able to stand here and hold this assembly in peace today because the danger has passed? No! This peace we enjoy is no gift of fate. We are able to stand here today only because the Chrysos heirs have stepped up and shielded Akuma from calamity. With her golden threads, Aglaya has preserved and continues to preserve these idyllic days that all of you hold dear. Council of Elders claims that Aglaya will one day forsake the people because her divinity is eroding her body and soul. But ask yourselves this. Rather than offering her aid and support, why do they choose to watch and push Akuma away from the Flame Chase journey? The answer that no one can bring themselves to speak of. A truth stained in blood and buried in greed, fear, and vanity. Allow me to lay it bare before you.
Wow, Finan, you have prepared yourself for this speech.
It is because the Council of Elders, which bears Akuma's history and honor, along with this citizens' assembly we once took so much pride in, are now infested with vermin.
Wow, he used the word vermin.
You insolent whelp! How dare you!
It is true that Aglaya has reached her limit. Why? because she has been working tirelessly to weave the defenses of our holy city against the encroaching evil. All while these vermin are making up baseless accusations about her and scheming in the shadows. Not once has she ever failed Akuma. Yet these vermin attempt to tear her apart, tarnishing her name with unfounded allegations. She may have been blessed by divinity, but hasn't her heart always stayed true to humanity?
Wow, Finan, I didn't know you could be so harsh. He really said vermin 3 times.
They attempt to mislead you and reduce this assembly to a crude standoff between gods and humans, but citizens of Akuma. Once more, I implore you to open your eyes and look at those around you. Examine them closely. Beneath all that finery, do you see the good heart of a human or the poisonous glands of a pest?
Wow. Is this why he was winning all those debates at school?
Make your judgment, then turn your gaze to the demigods, whom so many of you regard as cold and merciless. Do you not see the light of humanity in them? And those who wear the mask of humanity, yet utter only hurtful, slanderous words. Can you not see that their souls have been corrupted by power?
He really doesn't pull his punches. I can actually now imagine those school debates going really oof, with Pinon throwing names and throwing hands. I didn't expect him to be this fierce. I mean, I know that he can be fierce when he fights and when he hates someone, but I didn't know that he can be fierce in a debate or in the regular setting, like talking to someone.
Yet, no matter what your answer is, and no matter who your vote goes to, rest assured that you have nothing to fear. For Aglaya, Tribios, and I will remain your faithful guardians and pledge our lives to upholding your decision. And this vow will stay true until the end of our days, where it will be passed on to future flame chasers. A steadfast and unwavering promise that shall endure through the ages.
Wow. So flame chasers will protect humanity through the ages? No matter what?
Absolutely right. This crisis airs have only our best interests in mind. I still don't understand it. I will never believe our heroes are all have to end. So...
In an uproar, representative leaders from different cities in Okama throw pieces of pottery into the Dolium. Why did Anaxa make a frown, though?
At the present time, on the scales of Talenton, those who call for the continuation of the Flame Chase journey, and those who demand its suspension. Each faction holds an equal share of votes, resulting in a perfect balance.
Lol.
As expected. This is the moment when the Flame Chase journey is the closest to its end.
And now, it's your turn to vote, Lord Anaxagoras.
Is there anyone else who hasn't voted?
No, you're the last. Cast your vote with care, for your decision will break this impasse.
What about Castoris?
I have long since made a decision.
Very well. May you bring much needed change to this farcical world.
Last vote. Vote for kindness.
Who will he vote? The die is cast.
I trust you haven't forgotten the world we've envisioned together.
Vote for kindness. On the last vote.
The die is cast.
What a grand entrance.
4.
Ha! This is the only thing you say.
Last vote.
Okay, let's vote. Ah.
You've done well, Finan. Given the circumstances, delivering a rousing speech to stir up emotions was a prudent move.
Yeah, he did really stir up emotions. That was... I didn't expect him to have it in him.
Thank you all for your patience. On behalf of the 7 sages of the Grove of Epiphany and the scholars of Amphorius, I, Anaxagoras, am ready to cast my vote. But before that, in the interest of fairness, Lady Goldweaver, I pose a question to you before all who are gathered here. Will you, as Finan has promised, stand by the decision made in the Assembly, regardless of outcome?
In the interest of fairness, I make no promises, lest it should influence your decision.
Very well. I thank you for your honesty.
What's he doing?
The stakes are high. Let's be patient.
Cut the act! Who do you think you are wasting our time like this?
Lord Anaxa, please do not forget that I...
Rule number 1. Do not call me Anaxa. Rule number 2. Never interrupt me. Silence is golden.
Just vote already. What are you waiting for?
I cannot help but wonder, is every hardship in the world something you will exploit and use to your advantage?
How else am I supposed to make use of this situation where my body and soul are separated? Oh, Circes. Or should I say Calypso? Accompany me on this final journey. Let us journey to the Netherrealm and see how she will substantiate the answer to your question and validate my decision. We need only to follow the sound of the tides.
Huh?
You are...
Well done, child. Just as I foresaw, you have achieved great things. A blasphemer, raised in the doctrines of the Venerationists. It's like a foal kicking its mother in the belly after taking all her milk.
I respect you immensely, sir. But
you cherish the truth even more. So, child, do not be troubled by the criticisms I have borne. Do not let those voices hinder you as you forge ahead. As the sage of the Venerationists, I am duty-bound to oppose you. But, as your friend and mentor, Anaxagoras, I say, go forth, for the truth is already in your hands.
I will keep that in mind.
Go now, child. Your lonely pursuit is about to welcome a new chapter. And when you reach the end of this journey, may we meet again with the truth before us.
You have my word, sir. May Circe's safeguard your thoughts.
May Circe safeguard your thoughts.
You are right, Empedocles. My lonely pursuit is about to welcome a new chapter. I must be on my way now. May we meet again with the truth before us, Empedocles.
What are you waiting for? Just cast your vote.
Silence! Silence, everyone!
Behold, Circe, here at the center of the world, I shall write the final step of my proof. For this place is but one step away from the truth.
Professor, I completed the proof you wanted.
Thank you, Castorus.
The answer is plain as day. My vote goes to the Flame Chase journey and nothing else!
Elder Kindness, I have deciphered the truth of this world!
He's insane!
With the balance shattered, the result is clear. By carefully enter Lenten above, as the Theoros I have observed.
No! Ligus, you can't! Anaxa, what have you done? Have you lost your mind? I hope you are prepared for the harsh punishment awaiting you. Mark my words, I will make sure that clever head of yours never forgets the price of betrayal!
Have you forgotten? I told you that happens to be one of my rare talents.
You put on such a grand performance, just to aid their preposterous flame chase journey?
Performance? No, you are quite mistaken. I may be paranoid by nature, but I've always been known for my honesty. If you really understood me, Lady Kindness, you'd realize that I never had any interest in your pathetic little game of politics. Factions, standpoints, they are jokes in my eyes. I have never once switched sides.
Really?
Because I, and I alone, am the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Kindness, with all the citizens here as witnesses, we should honor the spirit of democracy and respect the decision of this assembly. I have observed that Akama has chosen her destiny. This citizens' assembly has resolved to continue the flame chase journey. This resolution shall be put up on the Wall of Heroes, such that all citizens are aware of the city's way forward.
You! It seems not everyone is ready for the assembly to end. Very well. Let me entertain you for a little longer. By your leave, Lord Lycus.
Interesting. Elders and citizens, your attention, please. Stay for a moment more, if you will. Anaxagoras of the Grove of Epiphany has an announcement for the assembly.
What is this performer up to now?
Absolute flame chaser. What do you think he'll continue? I don't know.
So apropos.
Frankly, still.
Just moments ago, all of you made a decision on the fate of Amphorius. As a supporter of the Flame Chase journey, it pleases me to see the choice you have made. But I regret to say that I still harbor doubts about this outcome. Thus, I hereby challenge this resolution.
What?
Tell me, who among you dare swear to Kefali's name that Era Nova will truly welcome the fairy tale ending that the Chrysos heirs have promised? A beautiful new world free of calamity and madness?
Nonsense! That's impossible! What is he getting at? Of course not.
Not even for a second.
No one? Must I pick somebody to answer?
Oh no, he now acts like a teacher in a class with unwilling students, and that's the most annoying thing a teacher can do and say.
Very well. You, the one acting so wise and profound, in front of all present here, do you dare swear that it will happen for sure? No? Fine. Next. You, the one with ignorance written all over your face. Yes, you. Do you dare swear by it in front of the Titan?
What are you trying to do?
Useless. Your turn, then. With that smug look of yours, you must be confident that the Flame Chase journey is the best course to take, right?
Hey! Mind your tongue!
So, no one? I see. In that case, Finan, answer me this. Your speech was filled with such passion just now. How confident, then, are you in making this promise?
Professor, what are you doing?
Let him continue with his performance.
Will you look at that? Even Finan and Aglaya lack the courage to make such a promise. And what's even more absurd is that no one but I can promise you this new world. And yet, the Assembly passed the resolution anyway. But you needn't worry, because I knew better than to trust you good-for-nothings. That is precisely why I am here today. To give you one final lecture. Now listen up and listen well. I, Anaxagoras of the Grove of Epiphany, hereby declare.
What do you declare?
Everything that the Flame Chase journey promises is true. Finan of Ides Elysiae, the prophesized demigod who shall succeed Kefali, will reforge each and every one of us in the new world with his complete, intact memories.
What?
What?
The core flame-bearing titans were the Chrysos heirs of yesterday. And the Chrysos heirs who carry the core flames today will become the titans of tomorrow.
All of our souls shall endure for eternity in the miracle of the World Bearer. And all under Kefali's protection shall step into that new world.
Oh, yeah, so this is what he meant. Indeed, Kefali didn't forget anything from the previous era. That's why Anaxa could glean the past from him. When Finon becomes new Kefali, he will still remember.
This is pure blasphemy!
It's impossible.
What? Are you saying that we must bow down to you and worship you, even in our next lives? Enough, you blasphemous imbecile! How dare you try to deceive us with all these lies and falsehoods? How can you prove?
I told you, don't interrupt me. But since you've asked, I shall be kind and indulge you. My statements are based on my experiments on the divine body of Kefali themselves. You heard me correctly, everyone. With the tacit approval of kindness and the Council of Elders, I fused my soul with a god through alchemy and learned the truth behind Era Nova.
What is he talking about? Isn't that pure blasphemy?
I, the vile, wretched blasphemer, deserve nothing less than death for my sins. And the Council of Elders, which granted me consent and aided in committing this atrocity, should face punishment alongside me!
Lol, did he dupe them? Did he dupe them?
By the gods, even kindness has betrayed Akuma.
Lol. It was so easy.
I had no knowledge of his transgressions. He did that on his own. The Council of Elders bears no responsibility for his actions. Lord Lygus, as the esteemed Theoros, are you going to simply stand by and allow the Council of Elders to be dragged through the mud?
If the accusation is true, I will acknowledge it. If not, my conscience stands unburdened. Lady Kindness, the reputation of the Council of Elders was not built in a day, nor will it be shattered overnight. Repercussions await those who fool the people, and punishment must be meted out on those who abandon their vows. We should respect this beautiful city and her people.
You...
Lady Aglaya, the Gold Weaver, I humbly ask that you take on the responsibility of overseeing this judgment in the name of the fairness of Talantin and the justice of Kefali.
I thought the Talanton was the god of fairness and justice, but they also ascribe justice to Kefali. Well, I guess that makes sense.
Considering the circumstances, and in accordance with Akuma's codex, as the only demigod among us, you shall rightfully wield this authority.
The honor is mine to bear.
I didn't know Okuma's codex included demigods.
How is this permitted? Somebody do something!
This is how it's supposed to go.
Absolutely outrageous.
Elders and citizens, silence, if you please. Anaxagoras of the Grove of Epiphany has made his statement clear. As per Akuma's codex, I request all present citizens to stand with me in exercising the right of judgment. First, Elder Kindness of Akuma and Lygus the Theoros, stand accused of neglecting their duties and abusing the law, leading to the egregious blasphemy against a god. In the names of Talantan and Kefili, Akama is to form a committee before the 7th action hour to conduct an investigation and disclose the findings to the public for subsequent judgment.
Yes! That's what we deserve! Agreed!
Curse you!
Now, concerning Anaxagoras of the Grove of Epiphany, he has confessed to grave blasphemy against Kefili.
I mean, it was a blasphemy, but at least he discovered that some Titans enter Era Nova with their memories still intact. Considering Kefili and Thanatos didn't lose their memories. I wonder why Circe's did lose their memories. And I wonder if Nikador had their memories or not. Or also lost them. Is this like only the very specific Titans can keep their memories? Like very special ones, like a world bearer that has the entire world on its shoulders? And Death that literally presides over all humanity?
In the names of Talantan and Kefili, the accused must be allowed to hear the people's voice prior to the execution, for a chance at a reduced sentence and possible pardon.
Let him die. Citizens are let him die, let him die.
Let him die! Let him die! Let him die! Let him die! Let him die!
That's harsh.
Let him die!
He's already dead though.
Professor.
Let him die! 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 Let him die!
What decision will you make, Lady Goldweaver?
Enough with the hesitation, Aglaya. This is not like you.
Let him die! Let him die!
Then, in light of the people's voice, O Talantan on high, may you bring death upon him.
They are too happy about this. And me. My POV. A sea of flowers. Am I dead? What is this place?
Allow me to reintroduce myself. I bore the name of Castris while walking among the mortals. And now, I stand as the demigod of death, the living side of Thanatos.
Can you really become a demigod without the trial in the, vortex of Genesis?
Welcome to my realm, where the west wind ends.
It's a beautiful place. Mom, I made it! My character arc is finally done!
Every departed soul who has arrived here has expressed the same. Did you know? Every flower here was planted by Thanatos themselves. These flowers were originally both lifeless and immortal, but in the first rain brought by the River of Souls, they were given new life, flourishing as the bearers of countless souls.
So each flower is a soul?
And it is my duty as the Master of Death to tend to their well-being, and foster their growth in this serene haven. Similar to the structured cycle of life and death in the mortal world, these flowers too shall wither and fade, returning to the earth and then ascending to the sky with mist and tides. Eventually, they will descend to the mortal land as gentle rain. Every soul undergoes the perpetual cycle of reincarnation, albeit in varied forms, until the world meets its end. Yet, sadly, there's no time left for Emporius to wait for when the flowers bloom again. Now, death is the power at my fingertips. It once led the souls of the deceased here, but I shall open the gate of the netherworld and return you to the realm of the living. In exchange, please, take the core flame of death with you and complete the flame chase journey. Do not let our work thus far be in vain.
You have my word, you're not going back, but at what cost?
Just like the other demigods, I will stay here and embrace my destiny. That being said, it is not easy to guide a lost soul back to the mortal realm. The whispers of death are sweet and alluring. If your determination wavers, you will succumb and be forever ensnared by the netherworld's grasp. Please consider this a one-time exception. I will do everything in my power for the flame chase journey.
Don't you have to pay some kind of price for doing this? Like Thanatos of the past did bring a dead person back to life and paid a heavy price for that.
And for your life, the only life I can save.
I will do my best.
I am glad to hear that.
Over here!
Keep moving forward and don't look back.
I believe in you.
Oh, well. March and Dunham.
Embrace awaits you.
One day your paths will cross again.
All the hardships.
Lift your chin up high and step forward with us to war tomorrow!
That's right. Keep your eyes on the dawn.
Onward. Show me your courage.
Wait a second, I need to take over food from the fridge.
Noise.
Ugh, fuck. I didn't miss anything. I think by standing in one place.
Partner, we shall become heroes together.
Almost there. Oh, this is the... Finally. Thank you, Castoris. Wait, that scene didn't happen, did it? I don't remember it happening, actually. Since I've already made it to the end, maybe I can have one last glance at the steel flowers. Don't turn around, keep looking forward. Fear not, as a touch of red will be awaiting you at the end of the path. Oh no! Don't look back! It will guide you and illuminate the way out. By doing so, you will eventually reunite in the warmth of the sunlight. Don't look back! No! What did you do? What's this? What in the world are these shadows and voices? Wait, you lost your memories or something?
All of this is proof that you once lived.
Am I dead?
Your soul, your memories, the years you've journeyed through, and the path they revealed, leading you back home.
Yeah, I want to be free of this quest. It's so long.
So, continue onward. Do not stop moving forward, and do not let her sacrifice and the support of all who have stood by you be in vain.
Over here, friend!
Take my hand. Let's go home.
Goodbye, Netherrealm. Let the trailblazing continue. Where is that scene with Castoris holding my dying body? It didn't happen last time on the stream. I don't remember that scene happening. I am back.
At last. I knew you could do it.
So that happened in the Netherrealm? So now it is showing it to me. I thought it will be like a whole cutscene, not like a picture.
Your soul is still perfectly whole. As if some kind of force is trying its best to keep it together.
Well, my soul is special, I guess.
Is it Orynyx's final blessing? Or is it a miracle of your own?
I am special.
It's truly incredible. Such a strange surge of familiarity. So hard to describe.
What do you mean? Like as if we met before or something?
Perhaps it is fate, once again fulfilling its own design. Or perhaps it is the laws from beyond the sky, so familiar to you, that intertwined our fates long ago.
Hey, they used the word paths interchangeably with the word destiny. I didn't know it could be like this. That the path that someone is following is the same as destiny. It was more like the path exists and the people who embody the path's virtues become the pathstrider. But now it kinda sounds like you are following the destiny of this path.
It seems that this is the riddle which cannot be solved anytime soon. The sensation of becoming a demigod is truly wondrous. It's as if the river of souls is winding its way through the depths of my spirit, transforming with each breath into a fine rain that nourishes the world. Do you recall that prophecy? At the end of the sea of flowers, the souls of the living shall warm thy fingertips, and after an embrace, there shall be eternal separation.
Is the embrace me lying in your arms or something else? Or your sister embrace?
I promised you that I would do everything in my power to give it another meaning. Now, as I stand as a demigod and destiny draws to a close, I can finally end it in a way that is as beautiful as it deserves. The wish I once sought, but could never grasp is now within reach. In this brand new world, every blooming life will lift its arms in celebration and recount the profound meaning of this very instant.
What do you mean?
Every touch, every embrace we share will never again be an ice-cold loss.
Aww.
They will radiate with an intense warmth, sowing love far and wide throughout the land.
How can you do that though? How can she do that though? Also, oh, I was bonked that, how dare you? I'm trying to understand what she's trying to say, but I don't get it, she's too vague. Is she trying to say that in the next world there will be only love and nothing more, or what? Cutscene!
The other shore is very cold. May I borrow your warmth one last time? Thank you for fulfilling this wish of mine. The place I'll be going to is what humans call the Land of Sorrows. But with this heartbeat and the residual heat of this embrace, I shall turn the nether realm into a gentle place of rest. This embrace may be brief, but it's the proof that I once lived.
Is this the only embrace she ever had in her life, though?
Then, may we reunite in the new world?
Will you remember, though? I know that Kefali, I mean Finan, will.
That grand and absurd performance was what you've been seeking your whole life?
Anaxagoras is just weird. So, what she meant is that she will create the afterlife that everyone will enjoy? Like, the warmth, embrace of love or something?
I gave up everything in search of truth, and it culminated in this very moment. You, on the other hand, performed as I expected. You did not hesitate when you saw the chance to attain power. It's as if you...
crave power, like a fly craves rot.
Lol.
Those are your words, not mine.
Lol. Get the room!
But what you said at the end, did you already know what I had planned for Finan?
I may have lost an eye, but my vision is clearer than anyone else. You've nearly exhausted your humanity. You're no different from my current state as a walking corpse.
That's true. I've long since burned to ash over the past 1,000 years. Only he is capable of unleashing a raging fire that rivals our final great enemy, Aquila.
Are we going to, you know, go on a hunt to on a space bird?
So, this is our last chance. How about we let go of the bad blood between us?
Huh?
May I resonate with your core flame, Aglaya?
What? Why does it sound so intimate all of the sudden? Especially considering that he has in his soul core flame of Circes and she has the core flame of Mnestia, and those gods were lovers.
Please do.
What? What are you doing? Are you becoming soulmates?
That's impossible. To persist with your soul thin to such an extent. You're insane.
Lol.
Just as you fight to lug your corpse onward to complete your unfinished goals, I have my own reasons for doing this. Until Finan grows into his position as the prophesied leader, I must continue to lead everyone on the flame chase journey. I must keep inching forward, even if only as an empty shell.
I've long predicted this was the case, but I didn't think you'd already lost so much. How ironic. We would have avoided so many misunderstandings if you and I had just spoken this candidly before.
Well, who stopped you? Who stopped you? You could just resonate with your souls before. That would fix any other issue we had with you. But then there would be no story. I guess.
But casting aside our ideological differences, there is one thing you and I agree on.
Finan.
Yes. He was born to be a hero. He understands the hearts of the people, and I can confidently say he is a far better leader than you. Only he is capable of fulfilling your mission.
The thing with Finan is also, when they say that he was born a hero, it's also interesting that among all of the characters that are supposed to be the demigods or become demigods, only Finan is going around with the body kind of signs of being a god. Like, he has those weird symbols of Kefali in his eyes, he has sun on his neck. It's as if he was created by someone to look like Kefali. No other flame chaser has those signs on their bodies that they will become this god or that god. Even Mighty doesn't have any symbol of strife on his body. Only Finan has any god-like symbol, and it's very suspicious to me. Who normally is born with the eyes that have a sign of your god in them? Like, what a normal person has a symbol of a god in their eyes?
Sadly, he is a man cursed by Nestia. But by my estimates, his horribly elaborate sense of style should not impede Era Nova.
Wait, what? I thought that when he said he is cursed by Nestia, I thought that he's cursed with, like, too much love or doomed love or something, but he's talking about his clothes all of a sudden.
Congratulations are in order. We found common ground at the very end of our destined paths.
I actually had a question recently that if the Circes and Nestia gods are seen as lovers, does it mean that before they became gods and were demigods, they were lovers as demigods, and then they became the gods, and somehow the tales of their romance were passed through to the new era? And that's why they're considered lovers. And I wonder if Finan X Mighty was confirmed in some way, shape, or form. I mean, the canon has a lot of points. Like, if they become gods in the next cycle, would there be like stories about the new god of strife being a lover of the new god of world-bearing or something?
When you put it that way, it makes me want to take back what I said.
Lol.
Glaya, we're back.
Yay! Oh, Danhang, what were you doing all this time? Where the fuck were you?
Come welcome our great hero reborn from the ashes.
Lol, I am alive again!
I hope he didn't hear your earlier assessment.
Lol.
It wouldn't be the first time I criticized him. A man should be aware of his own shortcomings.
They were talking about his fashion sense. Okay, so we got the core flame of death. Now the only one left. Circe's is in Anaxagoras, so the core flame of reason is also. The only two missing are Sky and World Bearing.
I'm gladdened by your triumphant return. But I don't see Castris among your number.
It looks like she not only helped me prove my theory, but helped you fulfill your mission as well.
She finally understood her origins and completed her trial.
She might not have been able to change her fate, but she still wrote the final verse of her epic herself. Trinin, please recite the prophecy for us. Trailblazer, please surrender that scalding cool flame for us as well. You are the only life she ever saved by her own hand in her 1,000 years on this earth. I believe no one is more qualified for this noble task.
Let the ceremony begin.
O gods who have returned, and gods who are still watching, today we bring you a soul laid bare. The Hand of Shadow, Thanatos, remembered their name from the past. From daylight they came, and to their fragrant dwelling they return, to walk now among your ranks. And there was one who joined hands with the Titan, a traveler risen from the dead, and reborn among mortal kind. She is the everlasting night, and shall now proclaim in her good name.
Am I Jesus now?
O Majesty of the 12 Titans, pillars of the world, we seek your divinity to mend the rifts of the world. Fill our bodies with blood of gold till we wither in willing service to the prophecy. Step forward, trailblazer from beyond the sky, and together with us, surrender the core flame and carve their star into the sky.
Surrender the core flame. Goodbye, Castors.
A constellation for death.
For life and death, to be more precise.
Look! It's...
Is that Castris?
No, it's only a divine echo. I think she's here for the trial.
What? I need a translator, but I left them in the Nether Realm.
What did she say?
That's the language of the Titans. Castor is... No. The Titan. They said... I have illuminated the cold shadow of death.
Onwards. For your path to the future is bright and its flame eternal. Do not forget.
She made quite a scene. I suppose it's my turn now.
Yeah, if Thanatos is not just god of death, but also a god of life at the same time, then they have higher authority over Amporius than most other Titans bearing Kepali, who is a world bearer. Also, I want to know what this vortex of Genesis is for, why does it exist, why does it have a huge fucking water that consumes core flames? Like, who made that shit? And for what purpose? Was it part of the world of Amporius? Like, was Amporius created with the purpose of a button? Like, collect all of the Dragon Balls and kick the button. You will be able to decide the rules for the next era. Kinda shit.
I won't stop you.
Professor, you...
What's with that look? You were present. So, let's get this execution over with. We wouldn't want to bring shame to Akima's divine laws or keep me from creating a new world.
You never change, do you, Professor? I don't understand. If your theory is correct, you'll lose all memories of your past life once you become a Titan. So what's the point of becoming a god?
Of course there's a point. Even if I forget who I am, I'll still have my brilliant mind. It goes without saying, I'll find a way to retrieve memories of my past life. Besides, I still have you, don't I?
Yeah, the final... Your, save... like, second plan, like, oh, I may forget, but you won't. I can always come to you and, like, bash your soul a bit to get my memories back.
I still don't really understand what you said during the assembly. Even if it were true, things reforged from memory could never be the same as the original anyway.
That's true. This is the entire thing about... is the person with the memories of the dead person is the dead person, or is not the dead person because they didn't live through those memories, you know?
Then allow me to tell you right now that you're wrong.
What?
What exactly are we? My answer is that the Chrysos heirs are the future Titans and vice versa. Of course, this answer only applies to us. So, what are we when it comes to regular mortals? The very essence of the world, our souls, are tiny invisible seeds that hold records of each person's memories of the world. And we are the buds that sprout from these seeds to grow into great trees.
I mean, he isn't wrong. Usually souls and memories are closely intertwined. Even in Genshin Impact they are. Like, in Genshin Impact you have Irmin's soul that contains both memories and the souls of the people who died. Because memories and the souls are interchangeable. And losing memories is equal to death, so... Jesus! You almost fell on my computer! Stop jumping here!
Is that what new sporism means?
Correct. Once our physical bodies are born, we become new extensions of the world. From there, we plant our seeds into someone's memories, and then scatter them into the hearts of countless people in the future.
Like Mighty! Mighty definitely has Finon in his soul.
Just as seeds are affected by their environment, so too will our appearances differ across memories. But the partial memories we carry will always be the same, because that is just how the world is. To destroy our very existence, one must destroy the world itself. But we have someone who will still live on with his perfect memory. That person is you, child of Kefali. This is what it means to be the world-bearing Titan.
Why did you call him a child of Kefali? This also ties back to my complaint, or more like observation, that Finon has the signs of the god Kefali that any other Chrysos heir that is supposed to become a demigod doesn't have. And it's almost as if he was created just for the purpose of becoming Kefali.
So, carry everything of this world and live on. Don't disappoint those most precious to you. Don't disappoint Lady Goldweaver. And especially, don't bring dishonor to my theory.
Lol. This is the most important thing?
Anaxa, I swear to you, I'll lead everyone to our reunion in the new world.
Will you reunite though, considering that the Titans of this era didn't actually reunite apart from Polixia and her twin sister?
Good. That is all I have to say. Farewell, everyone. May we meet again in the next life.
Is this next life in which Finon will finally visit Mighty's library?
Farewell, great performer. May Circes safeguard your thoughts.
Salute him in the same way. May Circes safeguard your thoughts.
Are you satisfied, Honorable Titan?
Very. I hereby swear I have borne witness. Anaxagoras of the New Sporists and the Grove of Epiphany has successfully overcome the trial of reason. Thus, I shall confer upon you these words. You shall transcend the peaks of purity and return to corruption and hardship.
So in the next cycle he will become the most pure of the gods and then he will fall into corruption? Kinda like Nikador?
Oh, so that's a god's prophecy. It sounds like you just rephrased my past, present, and future. Oh, Circes. Is that all you've got?
Well, you've already transcended the peaks of purity, and you were never the type to give me any leeway.
That is true.
So I am kind of confused. He already fulfilled his prophecy even though he didn't know of it? I mean, it kind of, from the quests we did so far, it looks like the prophecies are meant to come to pass in this cycle, not in the next cycle.
But I do still have one question.
I knew it. What is it? Maybe we're thinking of the same thing.
As you've so boldly stated, we and the world itself live on through the memories of others. If that is the case, whose memories did the very first new spore sprout from?
This is the question. What was the first, the chicken or the egg?
How should I know?
Oh my.
I guess Fury would be a good answer here as the overgod. Looking at Amphorius right now.
But, since we are both equally curious, we should allow the children of humanity who come after us to investigate in our stead.
Will people even remember you?
Rejoice, Circes. I sow the seeds of suspicion in the new world with your soul!
And now, the objective is complete. That is all.
Jesus Christ. This guy is insane. Will...
Thankfully, she's still alive.
Will they remember Anaxa even? Like, it didn't feel like people remembered the people of the previous cycle. Is it possible that when the demigods enter the new era Nova, the memories are erased? Like, they are erased from the face of the earth, and the only person who actually remembers them is the new god of world-bearing and the god of death and life, because those are only two gods who remember. Also, I wonder what is happening to my friend, March 7th. I guess Anaxa is going to do something that Polixia did. Polixia, entering a new era, destroyed the laws of death. Anaxa, on the other hand, will enter the new era with the seeds of doubt and make people doubt the reality and maybe even start, you know, studying souls and trying to learn where the first soul ever came from, where the world came from. Maybe they will even learn about the past and Fully and the cosmos.
Was March 7th also in this condition when she was first rescued by the Express?
Her condition was very similar. It's just that at that time, the Express did not have a memo keeper who could diagnose her condition.
But she still woke up naturally. Looking on the bright side, that might happen this time as well.
When Marge awakened from the ice, her memories were completely wiped clean. I want to prepare for the worst and prevent something like that from happening again. Can you share with us your hypothesis?
I do not have conclusive evidence, but judging by her current condition, perhaps March 7th's memories have been hijacked.
What? Hijacked?
Think about it, Miss Himiko. What will happen when someone loses their ability to remember?
I'm not a biologist, but I hear that there's a species of fish on Vonvag that has the memory span of less than a second. It forgets anything that occurs in the very next instant. Perhaps something similar will happen?
Unfortunately, short-term memory is an entirely different concept from the inability to remember. Perhaps it is difficult for you to imagine, but an individual who has lost their ability to remember turns into nothingness.
Nothingness?
The belief of the Garden is that everything in this universe can be interpreted through memories. This is the driving force behind the continuance of this path. The past is made up of memoria, while the future is a possibility that will eventually be converted to memoria. But the present, it doesn't really exist, and it's only an abstract expression.
I would rather say that present is in the state of being converted to memoria. At every second, some people are doing stuff instead of an abstract expression, as you're saying.
Therefore, when a person is affected by the path and loses their ability to remember, their physical form will also be affected. These ice crystals are a manifestation of that.
Miss Black Swan, there is one thing that I haven't looked into deeply until now. You have guided us to Amphorius, but refused to tell us your true intentions. Collecting memories is simply not a convincing answer.
Is Miss Himiko suspicious of me?
I mean no offense, I am merely speculating, but I would appreciate your honesty if possible.
In other words, now is the time for me to prove my innocence. That's not a problem, of course. The true reason behind my intentions is that Amphorius holds special significance. For some memo keepers of the garden with extremist views, it is a perfect example.
Perfect example?
A world that can only be seen through the garden's mirror means that memo keepers have the right to keep the world in their private collection. If those pathstriders of remembrance were to uncover the secrets of Amphorius first, they might unleash their wild ambitions and remodel more worlds into a similar form.
Oh yeah, because Amphorius kinda exists as a memory? So the reason you did everything you could to convince the Express to come to this star zone is just to uncover the secrets and foil the plans of these people.
I chose to remain quiet before, because I did not want to involve you in the garden's internal conflicts.
Remodeling a world is no easy feat. These extremists likely aren't just simple pathstriders. Do they wield the powers of emanators?
You can be even bolder with your guesses. The people that I'm talking about, they aren't just individuals. They are an organization that has already attached itself to the pinky finger of freeee.
Could they be the ones who hijacked March 7th's memory?
I cannot be certain, but at the very least, they are capable of doing so. I am deeply sorry about what has happened to March 7th, but the deal that I propose still remains a fair one. Amphorius is still an excellent destination, and investigating further might allow us to uncover the truth behind the accident. Miss Himiko, the wisest choice right now is for us to continue cooperating.
Oh? Something happened? Also, yeah, Amphorius kinda looks like Memoria flying in the infinity symbol. What's wrong?
Let me take back a part of what I said just now, Miss Himiko. Although we indeed struck a deal, it seems like I have involved you in some unforeseen danger. Please accept my deepest apologies.
Did she just spill something that happened on Amphorius? Has something changed?
It's freeee. Their gaze has just swept across Amphorius.
No shit? Is this the moment when the Trailblazer got remembrance back? Or is it a second instance of fully gazing at Amphorius? Herta!
Oh, how interesting. I never expected a mere memo snatcher to be actually hiding so much inside her head. What's even more interesting is that the word Amphorius has appeared in her subconscious.
This lady seems to be having fun. Is she usually like this?
I don't know, we only met the puppet.
It's, hard to explain.
Lol.
What are you two whispering about? Has it not occurred to you that I can hear everything clearly?
Oh, please pardon me, Madam Herta. Would you mind sharing with us what you've discovered?
The ones who need help are the Astral Express. You will have to put up with my methods, even if they are rather unconventional. Let's get back to the topic. By using the fourth mirror, I rummaged through the brain of this memo snatcher and learned a good deal. Not only does this person know of Amphorius, but there are also many memo keepers who are interested in the place. I searched through her consciousness and found the following terms: the Eternal Land, the Rejected Land, and the private collection of the Garden of Recollection.
It seems like Miss Black Swan is indeed hiding some things from us.
Since I'm not able to find any useful clues from the outside, why don't I personally visit this mysterious Amphorius?
I don't remember last time I've seen Herta. Was there a memo snatcher mentioned before in the part of the quest she was in? Because it was so long ago, so many hours ago, I forgot everything about it. I just remember that she was conducting an experiment to trying to contact her Ian and Weld, and Sunday interrupted.
You're planning to head to Amphorius yourself?
Yes, but not in the flesh like you all foolishly did. See these Herta mirrors? With them, I can project my data spirit entity to any corner of the cosmos through spatial warps, without even needing to leave my room.
Data spirit entity?
But of course, these corners of the cosmos must be within the coverage zone of inter-astral peace communications. After all, this is collaborative technology.
Do you mean that you have avatar that is using inter-astral peace communication as an internet?
I see. You do seem like the more indoor type.
Lol.
Although that star zone is not within the network of the IPC, the Express itself can serve as a signal station. Come, give me the astral chart coordinates. Then, sit back and enjoy the show.
So they will be able to see? Or they will stare at you?
All right, now that everything is ready, mirrors, get to work.
She has her own personal slaves in form of mirrors.
First mirror, input the coordinates. You'll be in charge of the spatial warp. As you command, Madam Herta.
That sounds like something Astral Express is doing.
The preparations are complete. I wish you a pleasant journey ahead. Second mirror, prepare for the thought refraction. There's still some distance from the Astral Express to the Amphorius celestial body. You're in charge of sending me over.
Why did she say Amphorius celestial body? I mean, technically, yeah, planets are celestial bodies, but it's kinda in this sci-fi / fantasy world, it could have multiple meanings.
This time, raise the power to the maximum. Don't be stingy. Oh, okay. I won't fail the mission, Madam Herta.
I suspect she will look like she did when she was conducting her experiment, and they will just stare at her body.
Third mirror, you're in charge of generating the data spirit entity.
Avatar.
I'm happy to help, Madam Herta. What kind of appearance are you planning to use this time? Good question. Let me think. Forget it. Just use my own appearance. There's no one there that'll recognize me anyway. As you wish.
So that sounds as if she could do that and use different appearances if she wishes to. That kinda puts every NPC as a sus NPC right away.
Fourth mirror, you'll be in charge of... It seems like I have nothing for you. Just stand by and wait for orders.
Ah, standing by again. That's so boring. Next time, can you count down from 4 instead?
Preparation of the data spirit entity complete. Thought refraction at max power. Excellent. The first mirror. Let's get going.
Have a safe trip, Madam Herta.
May your journey yield good results.
Coordinates input complete. Preparing to activate spatial warp. Destination, unknown celestial body. Amphorius. Spatial warp countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Warp activated.
Oh! So that's Amphorius? Its appearance is, well, sure is unique. Second mirror. Prepare for thought refraction. It's time to send me in.
Alright, please read the safety protocols carefully.
Can't you hurry up?
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't expect it to be so turbulent. I should have asked the second mirror to use slightly less power. What a magnificent sight! Is this the entrance to Amphorius? Let's see. Perhaps I'll be able to find a way in.
Hey, the constellations are not light up. There are Titankin here.
What's this? A statue? It's ugly. I don't like it.
It's me and Danhang. That's weird. Also, why is he here? Where was Finon standing during the previous cutscene?
Oh, I finally found your traces. How esteemed must you be for the great Herta to come out personally? When we return, get ready to become free labor for the simulated universe for the rest of your lives.
No! I refuse!
What's this? How creepy.
Why is he here, though?
Oh, it moves? Who are you trying to scare? It's either a projection or a fake. There doesn't seem to be much to take note of. Now then, how am I going to get into Amphorius?
So she thinks she isn't in Amphorius. Does it mean that Vortex of Genesis is an entrance to Amphorius? And that's why you can reposition all the core flames here and use them to enter Era Nova and reshape the world, because this is the most important point, the entry point of the Amphorius reality? Is it like a hub or a control center of the entire world? Is Amphorius a simulation now? Considering that Erudition Iod is here. Also together with Fully.
My deepest apologies, esteemed lady. I'm afraid that you cannot proceed further.
Why you're the only one that isn't made of refracted pingy here?
Who's there?
Your visit, although not part of my calculations, is a pleasant surprise. It's a pity that the preparations are not yet in place to receive you with the hospitality that someone of your status deserves.
What do you mean, calculations? Are you like an admin of Emporius or something?
Are you not going to answer my question? Who are you?
I have many identities, and I'm going to have even more in the future.
What?
But if you just need a form of address, you can use my common alias.
He really sounds sus, and it kinda explains why his entire design is reminiscent of Vortex of Genesis. If Vortex of Genesis is like an entry point to a database, then Lygus would be like an administrator. The core flames are necessary rules. When you collect them all, you can reshape the simulation or whatever.
Lycurgus. Lygus.
Alright, Lygus. But you can't possibly think that I'm just asking for a name, can you?
Regrettably, I do not have the authority to share more information.
What do you mean that you don't have the authority to share more?
However, standards are always flexible. While not violating the ultimate agreement, I'm able to disclose this piece of information. As you thought, this is the entrance to Emporius.
So every time I teleported to this place, I was logging off Emporius, basically. That's why I could enter this place through a fucking... I don't remember if it was water or just, you know... I forgot the name in English. Let's say bathroom, kind of. It's like, it reminds me now suddenly of Matrix. Like, you could enter Matrix from outside, and then you had specific points that you could leave through. In regular games, you can log off from MMO at any location you wish to, but in Matrix you had to use the phone booth to log out of the simulation, and it looks like the bath or the chalice of water in your room is like a phone booth. And this is an entrance to Emporius. This is the real world. That's why everything is destroyed, I guess. And leads nowhere. And Emporius is like... It's even more drives the point home that Emporius is a simulation. But... it seems that... people can leave it. But... when the Chrysos heirs are leaving the simulation, they see different view than Herta and Lygus are seeing now, which is sus. Why do they see different view than Chrysos heirs? Is it like Inception simulation within a simulation kind of thing?
Now, please, kindly turn back. Emporius is not a world that you should be involved with, regardless of what kind of magnificent achievements you have accomplished. This place will not open its doors so easily.
You seem to understand me very well. Then you should know that I have no reason to listen to you.
Your reaction is completely within my calculations. Despite my long years as a watcher, it seems like my assessment of human nature still remains accurate. From you, I'm able to sense a beautiful desire for knowledge. But my answer remains unchanged. Madam, it is with the utmost goodwill that I suggest you return to where you came from.
Let's assume for a second that I'm not so well-mannered, and that I insist on uncovering the secrets hidden behind you, Mr. Lygus. How do you plan to dispel this notion of mine?
Within the scope of the ultimate agreement, there are 178,244 logic chains at my disposal to convince you.
What is that ultimate agreement, though?
After filtering through them, I have determined that I only require 3 to attain the results that I desire.
Oh? I'm all ears.
First, for reasons that cannot be disclosed, Amphorius is a completely isolated celestial body. Apart from me, no one else will be able to help you enter.
Okay, then how did Astral Express enter it, though? We didn't enter through Vortex of Genesis. We literally entered it from the sky in a cart.
That's not a good argument.
Second, if your plan is, as you've alluded to previously, to force me into cooperating by showing hostility, do know that, just like you, I have basked in the gaze of the erudition. I stake my honor and assure you that in the worst case scenario, our mutual destruction will be inevitable.
He is emanator of erudition, just like Herta.
Oh. No wonder I couldn't find a back door. When I did a scan of our surroundings, the safety protocols on you are comparable to Screwy's. How interesting.
I assume that you still wish to hear the third logic chain?
Of course. Why wouldn't I?
Third, even if you exhaust all your means and find a way to break through, you will surely give up once you understand the consequences of your actions. After all, throughout your long life, as much as you'd hate to admit, your conscience has played a crucial role.
I mean, yeah, she may act like she doesn't have a conscience, but she does.
What a brazen robot. You think that you can actually understand me through your paltry calculations? But since you put it that way, why don't you tell me what these consequences will be?
It concerns the third path that is entangled with Amphorius. A path that you and your friends still very much lack understanding of. The destruction. So, if you ignore my warnings and persist in your ways...
I accidentally spoiled myself this third path on Amphorius, but I already spoiled it to myself when I already had suspicions what the path may be. Because considering the story of Amphorius, the general themes, the memories being a strong thing, the knowledge being a strong factor, and the world getting destroyed, there were only 2 guesses I had for the third path. It was either distraction or finality, because finality also to some extent is often associated with distraction. At least in Honkai Impact 3rd. No, I don't know how finality is associated with in the general wider Honkai verse, considering that the Eon of finality is moving backwards in time. So it may be more associated with time than destruction of things. So destruction made more sense here. Also, that explains why Mighty is destruction character. And why Aglaya and Castor's are remembrance.
You will break the shackles of a Lord Ravager. And when that happens, their fury will engulf the cosmos.
Is this why Amphorius is named Amphorius? You know, Amphorius' name comes from amphora, and amphora is a type of an object that you can seal something inside. It's not a box, it's more like a bottle kind of thing. And amphora was also an object in which the calamities of Pandora's box were kept. So it was not a box, it was Pandora's amphora, more like. Yay, finished the story finally. I am free. Now I need to feed my cat.
Seems like she's still a bit traumatized.
Come here, come here. Yeah, now.
Someone, hey!
Come here, come.
I must leave no stone unturned.
I am playing good chat. That was bad. Yeah. That's my tribute to cat. I will make a clip of this, I swear. Who is the best Jedi to fight Grievous anyways because of his lightsaber? Yeah, I watched the videos on YouTube about that. I really like him. He is sexy squid. Why he has to be a Jedi? He's too sexy for a Jedi. The same with Quinlan Wall. Quit the Jedi Order, come to me.
Now Oseram are a common sight in the city. And a common sound, too. They sure bicker a lot.
You know why I can't live down their name? Because Oseram sounds very similar to a Polish word that means basically shitting like in a toilet. And I can't live it down. Ooh, another new character.
Hey, you're all together?
In a relationship sense, maybe in the future. We don't know each other that well yet. Thank you for the raid. Just the music was in really bad mode. Hey, where's my chat? Give me back my chat. Hello? I mean that the music was like they were talking about really important stuff, and we were having like nya 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 nya. I mean, if we put it that way, that was the perfect timing.
My work can grant peace and serenity, the likes of which few experience. It will be worth it. I promise.
Go on! I have to see this!
What? I thought he would disagree. To give up! Good, I didn't! I have seriously no idea what's happening on the screen, but I am glad you have fun. This is gacha game, so every character I get, I have to kind of play a one-handed bandit for it. So, depending on my luck, I may get someone, and this is someone I wanted to get! She was on the banner! Yeah, thank you, welcome! I was worried, because there were like 85 for guaranteed character. I would have to pull 85 times to get her, but sometimes they are dropping early. So it was like 40, and she dropped. Thank you very much! Then I can actually change that fact, don't I? Okay, so now the only things that are left after me finishing the Trailblazer quests are those minor quests that need to be done, that are tied to the storyline. But before that, I first time saw the picture of Herta being in the Vortex of Genesis before this quest, and I noticed that the constellations were not lit, and now that I hear the conversation, I wonder. The constellations are not lit because it's like a different instance, like in a computer sense, of Vortex of Genesis. Different Vortex of Genesis, like different, like there are more of them around Amphorius. Like there is more than one entrance. Or, like I said, it's the case of Inception where you have a simulation within a simulation, so the entrance to Amphorius that Aglaya, Finan, and other Krytos heirs have access to is not actual entrance, just a recreation of an entrance inside the system, while the actual entrance is outside, and Lygus is the only person who can move between them. It's very sus. Like, it just reinforced the whole idea that Amphorius is a simulation world. Especially considering that Erudition Eon is here, and that Remembrance Eon is here too. It really gives you Matrix vibes a lot. Oh, I have to read those stories from, I forgot about them. I didn't finish them yet. Those. Write a story. I have second story for Trebius, Mighty, and Aglaya. Let's go. Trebius first. Those flame-chasing people, those forgotten stories, as I've written, confirmed. Long separation. You shall part with your friends, with your enemies, with others, and with yourself. Trebius, you have already soloed the fruit of fate. From now on, you shall be as a school of birds without feet, flying toward tomorrow without a moment of repose. The crisis wars clamor rises and falls, and when the children reunite, only 3 of them remain.
We have heard of a Chrysosaur.
The lively child says. That person tears open the barricade of the black tide, aims at the sky, wanting to contain the core flame in a sheath.
There will always be warriors like me, who believe in and are willing to protect the tomorrow they prophesize.
But the crusading Chrysosaur never returns. The greedy ones then lift the crown with sharp blade, and by power's lethality they are one by one slain.
We remember a group of bards.
The taciturn child says. The bards compose songs for the children's prophecy, and along the corpus of the pillar of stone lay their footprints upon which ballads are carved.
Though we lack the might of swords and shields, we can take you to walk every part of this world.
Till many years later, when the bards all return to their subterranean eternal rest, the children sing the long, long songs, and alone they bear memories of humanity.
We miss us.
The exuberant child says. When they left their home, the passages blew the girl apart into countless turbulent bubbles, carried to all corners of the world on the winds of destiny.
We will run towards the world's agony.
The children cheer each other up. As the years pass and the sun and moon rise and fall, the children often hear sounds of their friends shattering. Farewell, farewell, farewell. The children who still walk the earth silently hide their retching sobs. Upon the hills of Okema once grew golden figs as far as the eye could see. The remaining children link their hands and decide to make this beautiful city the beginning of yet another journey. The children pull on the hem of the maiden's dress.
Please, listen to the prophecy we bring.
The maiden pulls on her silken threads, weaving in her heart the children's past into strings.
Chase the core flames with me. I promise that...
The libations poured are guaranteed to bear. Hey, I didn't read that! Wait. Oh no. Oh. I need the last page. The libations poured are guaranteed to bear fruit. The hot blood of the sacrificial lamb will not be spilled in vain. The gentle mother silently dreams and brings to her child a scent from the west wind's shore. Then she quietly departs, and the only words her child hears is a prophecy of forlorn melancholy. The slumber of titans, the fragmented lullaby, the roar of the guards, all merge in a torrential black tide that carries the first demigod from the past to the future. And that was the beginning of the long train. In this tiny room, she forged 20 years of her memories with time. Sometimes the child does not understand the gates of worlds outside the window are so numerous, yet why can we not step within? And if one cannot leave the tower, what need is there to gaze into the distance via tomes? The mother smiles and does not answer, only using bedtime stories to once again gild another golden sheen of destiny to the amphorius of the child's dreams. Alas, the golden light of destiny cannot illuminate the shadows of power and greed. All it takes to rob the child of her only kin is a letter of dark conspiracy. The culprit thought the murder had no flaws, but was unaware that the lamp willingly stepped into the passage's dead end. Before the priest met her demise, the only thing her eyes contained was spite. Yet she leaves her final warmth and hope embroidered into those dolls, leaving them behind for her innocent love. Loneliness takes nightmares into the child's sleep, and the child hugs those dolls tight.
At the very least, we will never leave each other, right?
Oronyx softly sighs and carefully lifts the curtain of time, presenting a crystal given in libation to the brave, before the doll holding a blade. You know what? Those dolls are very suspicious. It kind of feels like tributes are living through those dolls that their mother made. Like the 3 last of them are like dolls. The Titan loves this child born into sorrow, but has no power to erase impending tragedy in the morrow. Only can they dispel the evening wind of the palace, giving the child solace in sweet dreams. Turn back, chosen one. The Titan's fading proclamation cannot pull back the string of the girl's destiny.
All shall bid farewell to one, and that person alone will witness the miracle.
In the holy city adorned with falling flowers, the children recall that prophecy beside their friend that has passed away. But the girl had already passed through thousands of crossroads and continues to sail toward tomorrow. Oh, for that bright spot beyond is the end. Hey, let me at least read it aloud. Oh, for that bright spot beyond is the end of the west wind, where flowers bloom in spring. Is the west wind... Didn't Castor say that the place where the west wind blows is the Netherrealm? That they will all meet in the Netherrealm? Okay, so the tribute story is full. Triplets of Fate, the Nameless Hero, the Mice Scholar, Weaver of Gold, the Last Prince, Servant of Death. Okay, let's go with Mighty next. He has only one. The day the lion went on campaign. So there will be one more. None may approach that battlefield, the lone army of Kremnos, an obstacle on the flame chase journey. He ordered his troops to stand aside. That was the first meeting between hero and prince. The two men fought for 10 nights unceasingly, till the combat drew to its end. Neither was able to score a single victory and conceded not a single defeat. None know why this man's fate is always overshadowed by a single number decreed. Just like how none can ascertain how the flame-chasing heroes convinced this man. It was not mutual appreciation, nay, for in his memory 7 sentences were all his mother to him ever spake. Spake? Not spoke? Yet somehow that leader who weaves the golden threads recounted one of the 7 with ease. She can suddenly read minds or see the past. There is no right or wrong in the man's heart.
The lion has its own historian, and the history of the hunt should not be held by the hunter alone.
And truth he speaks little. Others once guessed, he regards the holy city as his home, for he seeks a land to belong. As the king to his people, it is the first gift to them he brings. But as per the rule with gifts, once given away, the gifter will never repossess this thing. The journey is long, yet none ever dares to anger the man. Not because of his unrestrained manners, but because every meal the heroes partook were all cooked by his peerless skill. One side serves falsehoods in the woods. He has relied on scent since young to distinguish guests and obtain gain. Yet there are always exceptions. The man's archenemy often puzzled why their food always borderline nauseating. He still recalls one day he entered the holy city. One who worships strife is bound to have rumors rife.
Even insects consume each other, and he's no less than the Mad King's kin.
Wow, that's rude. It matters little, for the man always considered himself an enemy to the world. He paves the road so that one day his peers would match his anger within. Yet until the prophecy turned true, none in the holy city he ever did ruin. Okay, Aglaya is next. Aglaya also got one. Curtain of swords and weave. A solo lyre's sound flows along the streets.
My lover, why does your mood change faster than the clouds above?
The audience's face is covered in sorrow.
Oh, how I wish she has clear eyes that are quick to anger and laughter, and dimples that crease in smiles and frowns.
For the maiden he longs for has a body of alabaster and fingers carved by scalpels. In her runs blood of gold and a heart woven from thread. She has neither eyes nor dimples, lacking even a face, for she is Aglaya's garment maker, merely a demigod's serf. The gilded dressmaster, the executive of romance, how resplendent would her mansion be above the radiant dawning clouds. Nervously the visitor opens the doors, like parting curtains at a theater. The one with golden thread in hand is revealed, standing betwixt figures of stone.
Lady Aglaya, I am Apollos' retainer, here for an outfit to take to my master.
He casts sideways glances as he bows, for the garment maker he adores is flanking her mistress, silent as a leaf accompanying a flower. The guy fell in love with a living mannequin. I am not judging. Slender hands sculpted of ivory pull up the dress's train, as if with one breath alone the maiden will be revived.
The creation of love and beauty indeed.
As the visitor thinks thus, his spots prickle the golden threads in the room.
If you wish to embrace such fantasies,
she declares Chas on the other end of the golden thread.
You must beware of the scissors that can pierce through the chest.
Jesus Christ. Is she that protective of her mannequins? In the ancient theater there are thousands of plays, millions of shows, where even the god of romance was once an actor. The weaver below the stage savors the show of inspiration. The ostracized poet finally returned home, the adoring lovers separated by misfortune. The hero betrayed fires his deadly arrow in the traitor's heart. The thread known as romance is knit by all beings, by all love and hatred, beauty and sin, memories and prophecies. All that occurs are clothing, indeed. Look, the despondent servant buried his love. The dressmaster plucks it up, and into the garment maker's dress she weaves. The elegant garment makers once had beautiful faces, some as knights with swords, some as impassive priests, and put on pantomime after pantomime in the golden thread's light. Till the stage shook in the storm, and the black tide tainted the dancers' skirts. She wiped clean their visages and instilled armaments instead of silk.
Use the needle and thread as your sword.
She requests the servants who cannot answer. The garment makers are elegant still. They turn... Ah, Jesus. Let me read fully. All these stories are really, really old, but I haven't had enough of them yet. Talia, how old are you? I'm a newborn. As old as the world. I forgot, doesn't matter. Okay. What is there for us to talk about if I already know everything? But my past is a crushing weight, shrouded in darkness. There's no way I could remember everything. Okay, let's go back. I need to check Mighty first. Did I read the entire sentence? Yet until the prophecy turned true, none in the holy city he ever did ruin. Yeah, he never did anything bad. People just had bad impression of him. Okay, let's read Aglaya again. The last sentence is, the garment makers are elegant still. They turn bloody and stained slaughter into live rondels. For only then can they still dress in new gowns. Only then can romance survive into the morrow. Are they implying that only through murder romance prevails or something? I mean, the entire page is about battles, I guess. It kinda makes sense because Aglaya needs to survive till the end, till Paimon is not Paimon, Finan is ready. Okay, we have 2 more of those. Wait. Okay, casters. Willing to adorn the living. Born with an evil course, her hand dips into little cinnabar and white lead to personally decorate the faces of the dead. Her skills are said to bestow beauty on anyone, even transforming their appearance completely. Many skills were born out of her seclusion, but it painted her dwelling in a gloomy vision. Only a select few have set foot in this mansion, and the thief and the weaver were 2 such lucky persons. The girl converses with all items in the house, with specimens, tea sets, and even pillows in profusion, as if she can hear the responses of these not living things.
I have always lived in isolation. Out of courtesy, this is how I practice my words and actions.
Sounds like Beauty and the Beast to me. Tis hard to believe her explanation. Her face when talking shows such a gentle disposition that unless she's telling fabrications, she must regard her partners as mere children. People passed these rumors down. Within the area of her encirclement, all things became frozen, escaping time's increment. It is an exaggeration that is certain people only found an ancient lion's head in battle's ruined armaments. The head itself was nearly dead.
Though they won in fierce battle, the warriors were powerless to turn the tide. It was the embrace where death dwelled that gave early release from their pain.
Okay. This is how death escapes time. She keeps every final embrace hidden in her immortal heart. Out of her numerous works, butterflies and flowers often stand out stark. Ignite them and you can almost hear the maker's remark. Even in death's silence, her sound can still be heard. It is a gift greatly treasured by the maiden. Few have the honor to be graced with such work. Only one has the heart to burn such a gift, and the reason she gives is rather far-fetched.
I must peer into all fates unknown.
Did Aglaya burn a gift from Castries or something? The power of time is boundless, but there is one thing it cannot conquer.
Death is abominable in humans' eyes. Apart from my identity, there's nothing about me worthy of praise.
The beloved gold weaver hears this in distress, then tries to teach her the art of weaving the thread. It has been said that the maiden has works that the holy city possesses, but this is the judgment the gold weaver expresses.
Ah, well, none can know all things, nor be skilled in all crafts. Her works are too early for the living to comprehend.
Okay, now Anaxa. This will be the first one, I think. Now the second one for him. I don't remember reading the first. Discard not the broken. This is a tale buried in history. One day a student elated in victory dashed around the grove's territory.
I saw the spell the professor carved on his body.
The youth with white hair was beside himself in joy.
It must be a power most secret, a means for one man to stand against 1,000.
That spell was rare indeed, for it was a secret way to overturn a card of hay. What? The scholar was still a mortal body, as yet to snatch life from death, or to reforge a new flesh through a god's remedy. Various minute tricks and parody, he studied them all, crafting schemes oh so busy, for everyone knows he wishes not to use the divine power that is his, refusing rightful custody. And in that unwitnessed moment of his death, final tragedy, he still held the hay card spell steady, standing alone, facing the evil enemy. Now that craft is regarded as a magnificent study, not because of what it was, but because of its purpose known to everybody. In fact, he once crafted miracles, forging silent servants, using soil as vehicle. Though no sentience, they do their job without obstacles, reveling Titankin in spectacle. However, one day he suddenly changes his tune.
Creation is the Titan's work, and slavery is the Titan's manacle. When imitating divine evil, there's no need to invest reason, most pinnacle.
Okay. When the servants have all been recycled, he deigns not to explain, fearing to waste his reason or muscle, so he jokingly concludes the questioning with a chuckle.
If it's just for odd jobs, students are a better gamble.
What? So he swapped his own creations for students as slaves to do his bidding. The way he addresses himself comes from elsewhere, an imitation of a divine machine with some flair. He happily answers 5 questions for those unaware, knowledge seemingly given with stingy care.
For a wise one, 5 answers reveal creation's secrets, the truth hidden and bold. But a fool learns but not, and is left in the cold. Now, inquire.
That is, in fact, the scholar's crafty snare. He hides the answer he seeks behind questions posed by those unaware, doling breadcrumbs as bait to lure and compare whether the inquirer may be worthy of his wisdom to share. That sounds like Socrates. But Socrates was asking questions to teach people, not to check if they are worthy of his wisdom, I think. The scholar never looks at laws and measurements, ignoring the flow and shift of time's passage, and uncomprehending students gossip in eager regiments.
He is panicked by the flow of time, for his work is yet done, yet to implement.
This man is too arrogant, and he intends to desecrate Orynyx's accomplishments.
Why? Obviously to drag out class time as a statement. The student's answer seems rather adamant. He is panicked by the flow of time, for his work is yet done, yet to implement. The stubborn assistant interjects in a rare display of testament. This man is too arrogant, and he intends to desecrate Orynyx's accomplishments. The passing sage from another school brings admonishment. Outside the courtyard, the gossip flows into the scholar's ear. He silently gives a grade to every question and argument, but none know the true answer according to his judgment. And now Hyacinth. This confirms that Hyacinth is supposed to inherit the Sky Titan divinity. It will be the first, in the courtyard. On the leaves the rustling wind plays a melody as the girl looks over this courtyard petite and exhales gently, dispersing the palm-held blessings. The entire yard is lit softly like a dandelion bathed in sunlight.
Is this courtyard a tad too small?
It's okay, Clementine. As long as it provides warmth plenty.
The girl makes the courtyard tidy, and in the Evernight lands outside the holy city, there is now a light curing souls' maladies. The girl's skill can bring forth miracles, but today she welcomes a patient quite special.
Welcome to the Twilight Courtyard. How can I help you?
The gravely patient shakes their head.
The end times are coming, and we all wander more and more. Oh, you may heal our wounds, but you cannot cure despair.
The girl watches the patient leave, and her heart swells in sorrow.
Clementine, prepare some things with me. I want this place to be brighter tomorrow.
So she wants to try to cure despair, still make the place so nice that people forget about despair or something. The redhead child takes the girl's hand.
Long time no see, Hyacinth. Are you here in Akuma for a visit, or do you need help from us?
The girl recounts her needs.
I want some shining things, even if they're considered junk.
Multicolored paper bags, crystal clear glass, cottons variously dyed, and jingling wind chimes. The girl brings them back to the courtyard and spares no effort to decorate all around. And when some fireflies wander in, the girl is all smiles.
Little ones, thank you for your light.
The patient returns here and opens their eyes wide. Multicolored dreams on the rooftop now reside, and the lawns contain the sweet whispers of sunlight. A soft breeze passes with no hint of cold, only serving to wake the playful chimes and ocarinas of delight.
Wow, there's light everywhere. What a warm place.
The news is soon spread by the grove, and people with empty hearts visit in droves. The girl prepares candies and tea, and listens to every visitor's complaint. People say there was once a star called the sun in the sky, but now that star is no longer there. People say that Aquila took away the world's light, but they still left behind a heart bright to illuminate this happy dream in the night. Like the blizzards in the month of mourning doth calamity fall, burying warmth and dawn skulls. Orderless tides swallow up the grove of reason, and that tiny healing heaven is also extinguished, broken and barren. When the girl far from home hears of such grave news, the wind brings to her a moment of confusion, but it also evaporates the tears that briefly sparkle into being, and the girl still smiles bright and happy. Soon the people of Okema see once again, the girl collecting more pieces and tokens, wanting to rebuild that pure heaven. But she never realized that wherever she stood, she herself was that holy courtyard, that light-filled heaven. I wonder what will happen if you collect all the stories. And this will, what will happen if you collect all 5 of the stories for every character, and will this centerpiece light up or something? Also, can we collect stories for those people that I dead, or will there be introduced new demigods to take their place? Even Anaxa is dead already, so Anaxa shouldn't count. Everyone's stories are so deep, I can't keep up. Does Talia understand them? What is a god exactly? Omnipotent, omniscient, always speaking at others. That sounds so odd, and with such a familiar tone, Talia's past really is something special. But still I don't quite get it, so let me ask in another way. There must be a difference between gods and us, right? Otherwise, why would anyone ever want to become a god? To avoid being controlled, to escape the pain. You have stumped me there. Controlled? Could it be that we are already? If it's because I was controlled that I met Talia, then I suppose I wouldn't mind being controlled. As I keep asking, I once get more and more confused. Maybe I will wait until I've grown a little more before discussing these things with Talia. Oh, so many. Lying Cat's Travel Tongue. Travelogue? Travelogue, no Travel Tongue. Travelogue. A thief tells a few stories.
The first story is titled
The golden apple? It doesn't have to go to the fairest.
That city is named Paphos, where the golden light of Nestia shines. The golden apple tree sits in the city's middle. Only the fairest can pluck its apples. The beauty pageant begins on time as the fair ones stretch their supple arms, trying to pluck the fruits above their heads. Yet every time the apples come within reach, a breeze blows the fruit away without a trace. The audience in displeasure disbands, with only one girl left standing there, her features blunt. Yet to her surprise she finds her arms full of golden fruits, a harvest ground.
The second story is titled, Trying to Argue? Don't trick yourself, please.
That city is named Idilia, where Circe's roots bury deep and wide. The sophist scholar holds the tortoise aloft, but his fear is common sense bereft.
Even the best athlete could never catch up to this turtle.
None can overturn him in argument, and he obtains the champion's crown in merriment. Yet as he is about to leave, a wind blows the tortoise in front of him, and behold, his paradox becomes true. To catch up to the turtle, an entire day and night he spends.
The third story I will tell is titled, A Competition in Trickery. Who do you think is the Grandmaster?
That city is named Dolos, where even Zagreus was once tricked. The king promises to reward the perfect lie, wishing to recreate the deceit of the Titan, his grand feat.
I think the world is a gourd.
In truth, we are all already dead.
The liars take their turns in the challenge, but no one pleases the king. With a gust of wind, the girl emerges before the king's face, and when she leaves, she already has the king's promised gold in a pouch. The others are curious as to what the lie she raised.
Can only tell lies, and I am Zagreus.
So this is the way. She told the lie that she's a Zagreus, but was she a demigod at the time? If she wasn't, it is not a lie.
The fourth story is called, You Like Money. Good. But you must pay the price.
That city is called Mytemis, where the sea breeze intoxicates the people with delight. A wealthy penny pitcher prays to the Titan.
Please give me the power to turn anything into gold.
Midas much. With a breeze, the rock in his hand turns to gold, but his joy is fleeting to behold, for with one embrace his wife turns into coins scattered on the soil. He howls at Fagusa to retract the blessing, but sees a girl in a hood in passing. The girl laughs hilariously, holding his hand in hers.
Go back and check your vault. Some gold may be missing. But your beloved is right there, waiting.
So it was just a trick?
Cyphera, you took another long journey.
And we want to hear your fun stories!
The girl with the hood dangles her feet in the bath as two coins dance and fly between her fingers.
Basically, I visited 4 places, tricked them to my heart's content, and came back fully rewarded.
So she already was a demigod. Well, technically she's not Zagreus, I guess, so it was a lie. But she is Zagreus at the same time. Schrödinger cat. Schrödinger Zagreus. The girl pauses her words and looks out the window as the light above the Titan's shoulder casts her right cheek aglow.
The dawn will never cease, and the thief star wanders in foreign lands. How would you know that I am not lying right now?
Okay, Castoris is next. With a heart unwithered. To the dead when she bids farewell, she cast the slate into the fire and act futile. I have never heard of lands with such customs. At this time something drizzles down the slate, full of color, seemingly tears for the reaper of chills. It turns out the slate is inscribed with poems, and every phrase is diligently colored with skill.
Before people pass away, I write down these poems.
That is the limit of the girl's answer, and she only responds with silence for a request to read these poems. As time goes, she finally opens her petal-veiled heart, and the reason behind her reluctance to show her work is finally clear.
My poems are still too green. Not worthy to be art.
It stems from the girl's shame and discomfort. Indeed, every poem is art. It seems the girl once also loved to imagine with effort, and many wild tales were written on her part. A misunderstanding was what made her seize this art. It was a pair of arch-nemesis who gained fame in the war. One of them burst into laughter after reading the girl's poetic words.
I clearly wish to kill and tear each other apart. But in your eyes, you think we are close, unable to part.
Yes? Yes, you are? Was this Finon's voice or someone else's? It was a bit similar to Finon, but not exactly. She did not write poetry as a pastime. It is said that she left great works under hundreds of names. In different times she even criticized her previous beliefs, making her identity even harder to assume. I still found her weaknesses after many twists and turns, no matter how fickle her thoughts. She never lost faith in those words regarding the value of fragile mortal lives. She is heartbreaking and enchanting. She is the fingertips of death and the ghost of love and poetry. However, those poems have brought her many complaints. The poems that her hands composed all lack an ending of any kind, and the Maid of Death has no desire to continue them.
This is truly difficult to write.
The girl excuses herself.
My duty is to lead the living to the end. I cannot think of a fitting end for a poem to the dead.
Such is the epitome of lies. One who has grown used to death remains inexperienced with farewell. Therefore, I extend her an invitation. In this story belonging to herself, she can leave an ending reserved only for her.
What she brings is not only death.
She just replied when we first met, and when we meet once again for the last time, she again deliberates over this closing statement.
Apart from death, there is something else that is worth remembering.
That is the journey she walked. Mighty. It will be 4th on his part. Ascension of the Lone God Slayer.
To die for glory is not eternal sleep.
This is a lie all Castrum Cremnus keeps.
The world after death is superior to reality and basks in light.
But such vague poems the Crown Prince would not easily believe.
Cowards who dare not to look death in the eye.
He declared Chas on the day he returned from the stream of souls.
Longing for a martyr's heaven and reciting self-deceiving stories.
His words are sacrilege reincarnate, more arrogant than his blood and family.
True warriors should treat that paradise with spite.
Okay. Many followers just stop, no longer following his steps, for they feel this young man's words compared to poems are even more absurd. A body immortal, equal not perfection, the man braved dangers endless simply to seek his weakness. In his greener days with more amateur skills, in crises where death denied him even after kills, he learned why curse is a synonym for blessing, where he saw that visage of terror at life's closing. The man seems unmoved when this past is mentioned, having braved death 9 times. He who was once lacking now excels above everyone else, still raising. Yet when asked if he is still as ticklish as when he was a child, he does not answer. Now I feel like Finance should check that one. It's a wild tale he won't care to opine. It's said that Castrum Kremnos has secrets divine, through which the king's power has passed, a one-man army by strength in their bloodline.
Therefore, a traitor who does not inherit the throne is a king most infirm.
As the protagonist hears these words, he refutes not, but openly responds.
These are not rumors unfound. But will they matter if my deeds eclipse those of all other kings, achieving glory beyond?
Never turning back in war, he seizes all our glory.
That rumor in the war camp of fury often casts a shadow on the man's heart, indestructible and fiery. When campaigns become mired in terror, he sends his army to places safe and secure, yet alone he goes to fight, knowing death can touch him near. Okay, so he sends his armies to safety and he fights alone? That's very mighty. The Kremnoan detachment who follow him in livery all die in bed devoid of glory. They have their share of grudges upon death, but the man has no regret, none necessary.
Your glory lies not in death, but in my hands.
So he kind of denied Kremnoan detachment the death in battle. I guess they would be really unhappy with him because of that. But I always thought that they were going to fight together. I didn't realize that he would just send them away and fight alone every time. The dust settles and strife calms, a deathly quiet covers his father's realm, and the man alone returns home. A question seems to sound from shadows of the past around.
Did you already walk that flame-chasing road, O king?
Atop the throne the man mutters alone.
There's nothing else worthy of the hunt, for I am the blazing fire at the journey's end.
As it has been foretold, he killed the king to become a king and killed the god to become a god. His eternal destiny is to be crowned in blood. Poor guy. Okay, Aglaya next. Elegy of Beauty and Ugliness. In the past, when strife swallowed the earth and schemes disrupted the hearts of friends, the maiden who was yet a weaver was wrapped in a cocoon most grand, untouched by the storms sweeping through the land. She spent her youth in a palace of romance, surrounded by treasures, with even maids beautiful beyond belief, often bathing in the praise and admiration of wealthy nobles. till warfare set the threads aflame, and the devoutly praying priest was slaughtered before the altar. The family adored by all perished before their courtyards, and the blood of her maidservants dyed her golden mantle red. The golden threads covering her eyes snapped, and the concealment truth finally appeared firsthand.
Before a strong wind, a weak nobility cannot stand.
In the long endless war, the Goldweaver family was shattered by the sword, and the legacy of romance became a tragedy. She had a broken mansion and an empty house. The nobles who once loved her, none now willing to help her. All the Romans' talent, peerage, and beauty, what use are they in a disaster? As she closed her eyes in melancholy, the maid-servant pushed the broken loom to her
Would you like
earnestly.
to pick up the shuttle again and weave for me?
I can't even finish a sentence. The maid-servant pushed the broken loom to her earnestly. Miss, would you like to pick up the shuttle again and weave for me? The young miss wanted to laugh, but could only respond with shock, for the maid's face was now covered in scars as she fought to protect her mistress' safety.
Though I can no longer see, I still want to don the garments you weave.
And yet, when she heard this, the desire to weave overcame her fears. Therefore, in the broken shadows of a house, the loom of romance moved once more. The garments were exchanged for copious gold, buying back her renown of old. Yet beside this mistress most noble, there was always a blind maid in tow, dressed in luxuries unfitting. As the weaver attended banquets, the praises of her youth returned.
Majestic lady must be Nestia in the flesh.
But harsh words also joined.
Is quite reduced by a maidservant, so unsightly.
Jesus Christ, can you let me read? As the weaver attended banquets, the praises of her youth returned. That majestic lady must be Nestia in the flesh. But harsh words also joined. The mistress' beauty is quite reduced by a maidservant so unsightly. The maidservant apologized in embarrassment, lowering her head.
Mistress, I have brought you shame.
Yet her mistress brought her to the middle of the ball, having her garbed in the latest dress as the model. She now knew that praises and ridicule were both untrue, and that romance cared not for beauty of the face. The golden thread of God exists only within. She is no longer that helpless girl. She already carries the god's authority and walks the hero's route, but she still cannot hold back the calamity of strife. The unsightly maidservant blocked the dagger aimed at the mistress' soul, and blood once again dyed red something she wove. That was the last time in her life the maid's face she clearly beheld. When sewing the death shroud, she could not control how her fingers shook, often prickled by the needle sharp and acute. Chose that pristine white cloth, wept with tears of blood and gloom. And when the day of the funeral came, she saw the commoners' endless graves, and the nobles dressed in silk frolicking in the groves, and sadness overwhelmed her in droves. Is this the destiny unleashed for their act of chasing God's core flames? She kneels before the divine statues and prays to Nestia of romance, to look at these garments soaked in blood from the flames of war.
Why are those that appear so fair in fact ugly in truth? Why do faces unsightly contain souls cut from noble cloth? Why can the blind see the light? And why do those with eyes only see night?
The dying god remained silent.
If you no longer have the power to see, then with my destiny,
she grasps the burning core flame.
I'll exchange for eyes that can see everything.
Warm liquid flows from her eyes that now see all. In that instant she is sure that she saw the manifestation of beauty. Expose the divine.
Do not make him your enemy, even though he may seem frail and weak.
When a valiant warrior from afar assaulted the grove, he shattered their strength with only his eyes and pointing stick. He sent them running, pride cut to the quick.
He may seem cold and unkind, but he sees through human emotions with just a peek.
A student was troubled by love's trials and aches. With one sentence he guided them away from heartbreak, letting destiny's strands weave a path to love and happiness shape.
All is science, and human wisdom knows no bounds. Both martial prowess and emotions are knowledge that can be found.
He firmly believes that all things can be deciphered, bared to those who peek. Those that cannot be solved are not mysteries infinite, but only questions waiting to be answered, not obstacles bleak. For those who only protect themselves, the world cannot see their intentions. In sorrowful parting hours, the scholar refuses trifle matters. Isolated in a corner of his library, he fiddles with instruments of crafters. Colleagues suspect him of creating new blasphemies, while students believe him to be making new miracles of mastery. The curious ones gaze through the window beholds, seeing a small wooden bird on the table, wobbling in comfort, swaying in the scholar's hand, an enduring cohort. I ask him, seeking his motive for this effort, but the scholar, usually so quick to retort, refuses to answer, seemingly coming up short. Creatures that through his hands pass, all change their functions, invoking wonder peerless. He once removed his hat, as others witnessed, then walked on the hat over water with success. They also saw him light a flare, fearless, instead creating chilling cold air not so harmless. That bird was once a toy, and now his messenger, or perhaps still a toy. That is the magic trick of his success, and one of his teachings that he will profess.
Nothing in this world is ever born fixed.
The far-seeing must be far in thought. His teachings are like prophetic delight, yet he opposes prophecies with all his might. It's a time he refrains from looking back on, traveling all lands, chasing prophecies, trying to prove the priest's words were not unchangeable foresight. Countless times he exhausted his crafty slates, wanting to rescue the doomed and resurrect wicks, wanting to shame the prophesied heroes of magic and might, wanting to sway promised villains to a course more upright. Perhaps fate could not guess his goals, but it could trample over his plans overnight. At the end all his challengers flicker out, but he persists still in endless flight. His ambitions are too lofty, and so failure follows him never too softly. Through moments of defeat felt increasingly common, the scholar learned one thing he has never forgotten. Respond to defeat with a smile haughty, not from optimism nor from a defeat of the heart.
I thank this misfortune's severity.
The laughter oozes with self-mockery, but is also full of different emotion.
If this road is easy to walk, then future generations will not praise my name in piety,
says his ambition. There's still one for those and a few for those. Only at the very end did I realize she was nothing like the rumors. Is everyone like this, having a side that no one else sees? Is Talia the same? I always remain just as I was when we first met. I do have quite a few different sides. I'm curious about your hidden side. We'll only know when the story is over. I don't have one, as even later on, there must be people who stay unchanged forever, right? I'm not in the mood to dig too deep. Cast story is stepping into the next chapter and I can't quite explain how I feel. It's like sadness, but also like some strange sense of relief. Should we tell her story? Her embrace was just as warm as anyone else's. Then that's a trustworthy statement. I would love a hug from her too. In future stories, Talia doesn't have to go out of their way to avoid any endings for my sake, okay? Even though every story has an ending, I still wish everything could start over again. Okay, I wasted my thought on this. I didn't think it would take an hour to read everything. Okay, it looks like this Seal Slammer is some kind of event, like here. But I also have those things to do to be fully with, you know, caught up with the story. Anyway, I'm tired. I was reading for an hour and now I'm done. I am so done with this game. Did I finish this story? I don't know how much time I have left, so I will just finish here. Okay, thank you for dropping by and see you, I don't know when, maybe on Monday. We will see. Okay. Okay. Bye bye.